don't know this, but I actually took everything down. I took everything down. I didn't want to do the podcast. I was like, I closed it all. It was done. Which you notice why this whole thing was empty. When I went to my Axe retreat, this whole thing was empty. And the only reason it was up is because Brianna put it back up. Mm-hmm. She put it back up. That's why she did all this other stuff. Because I didn't want to do it no more. Because I got back to that frustrating part, that overwhelmed part, like, and just pissing me off. But it was pissing me off for some other reasons, you know. Like this is the room. Of course, it was smaller one time, and we have the laundry area. Okay, well, first it was just an obstacle course just to walk in. Yeah. This
but
thing.
That was the fun part.
No, that was the frustrating part for me.
See, and I knew it was frustrating for you, and so I looked at it because I didn't want. I mean, yeah, it was frustrating, but it was what was. So I knew there was nothing that we could do to change it at the moment. This is what we had, so you make the best of it. And so it was fun. It was just funny little things, you know, where like, hold on, you know, let's walk this way or walk around, whatever. And you know, you start singing the Mission Impossible theme. Because I understand that, but I understand that and you were frustrated, and that's why also I try to make light of it too, because I know you were frustrated.
But it wasn't even that part. Yes, that part did frustrate me, but it was getting from the door to here, because what's in the way was my wife's area, and then my wife would do her linens, because this is actually the laundry room on the side, where it's right here, and she would have the baskets and her linens, and then she would have all the carts in the way, and I'm like,
okay, that's tied. That's multiple. That's layers.
So then I'm like, hey, can you help me out? Can you help me out? You know, and this is the frustrating part that comes in, because I'm asking for this help. I'm asking for this thing, and I'm not getting anywhere with it. You know, so again, that was my frustration part of it, and then of course was getting this right. You know, I was spending 2 to 5 hours just to set up the podcast area. And I was like, man, but I want it this way. You know, I needed to have it a certain way. So that was, frustrated for me too. And then, of course, the editing was taking longer because I didn't realize that the mics we had before were dynamic mics. They were the right ones. But it was the processing, our podcasting machine, whatever, the mixer board that was mixing all this up, causing microphone bleed, which I learned that what it was.
So this thing, it cut that time? This new one?
Oh, definitely.
Like, by how much time?
Well, remember, I used to do a podcast in, say, Thursday. It won't be ready, because remember, we're a week ahead at one time. I would have it ready when the time comes out. It took me like a week and a half to get it done, depending on how much mic bleed that we had in there, which was always a lot. Because I could never tell when somebody stopped talking and when the next person started talking, because it was all... which I showed you guys all that. So that was my frustrating part. But now, if we do the podcast today, I have it ready by tomorrow.
Holy crap.
So it's ready by tomorrow on that. All I got to do is do some thumbnails, which we didn't take pictures today, but all we need is doing thumbnails, and that's it.
Wow.
But that helps.
Are
And
you
the
serious?
longest time now is just getting the cameras right. Like the audio, I barely have to make a tweak unless somebody coughs or something. So this is helping me. Like this is keeping my overwhelming and frustrating part and all that together. So then I try to figure out, okay, what can I do to help myself get through these things? So like you were talking about innovating and all that, my mind is always thinking, okay, how can I make this better? How can I make this simpler? How can I make this just run smoothly where I'm not spending 2 to 5 hours just to get the podcast area right? And that's what I've been doing. So, but I gave myself a little structure, okay? These are the problems. We're going to solve one at a time as we get there. And, of course, money was a problem, too, make sure we get all that right. So I was trying to solve those problems on there, because so I could be like, okay, I solved that one. That's a win. That's motivation for me to get something else. Then I do the next one. Okay, that's a win, And then, of course, getting guests on here, which we, Darwin, Carlos, and... Demon guy, all them. So that's been helping, we're getting some people. I'm trying to get more.
Yeah.
So again, it's just all these things are little hurdles for me. But now that I structure them and make them wins for me, like if I do this, okay, if I do that, it wins for me. So, but internally, I like this podcast, and I know this is going to grow, which it already is. You can see it's growing already. So this is what keeps me going with this podcast and stuff. But then I learned I got to have rest in between. So this weekend, this Sunday, I didn't have to work on anything. So I went outside. I cut some of the weeds off the sidewalk that's been growing, I don't know, like 6 feet already.
Oh, yeah, that one that would crunch on every time.
Yes. I got that out of the way, you know, and then kind of edged some stuff out. So, and that made me feel good.
You have an edger?
The what?
You have an edger?
No.
Oh, you did it with the
shovel.
Oh.
Just shoveled it off, and it literally took 2 minutes. It just grew too far.
Yeah.
So I got that, got the shovel, and cleared off some of the edging, cleared up outside so I could go back to my cigars and TV outside, which is not yet. As it gets cooler,
yes.
you know, maybe next month. You know,
Yeah.
But next month's raining season, hurricane season. But
Wow.
so again, and it giving me breaks, give myself breaks to do that. And now is, you know, I kind of enjoy some of the wrestling with James, you know, so Fridays, Mondays and Fridays, unless if I'm going out, you know, try to stop by my place on the way home, you know, try to do that. Can't do that too much because the bills adds up every day, you know. I told her, I can't tip you all the time every day, so no. One day you'll be good, the other day you'll get so tipped. So,
yeah.
So again, that was for me to take breaks and make me be rested, get some little sleep, and just kind of take care of myself with that. And that helps me move forward. I still haven't started my walking again. I'm getting close. to it. But I'm walking more during work.
Okay.
I try to do 10,000 steps before I work, but a little fast pace. So, but I love the walk, so it's helping me. But what I do is I make sure I'm in the area, and I talk to myself. You know what I talk about?
There's that crazy ass man walking by again.
I talk about what I'm going to say in this podcast. I say it like 6 times. And I'm practicing what I'm going to say because I'm thinking, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I remember
So you're having
this.
a podcast session by yourself, right?
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember a lot of stuff. You know, my memory ain't that great. You know, I'm surprised I get home. You know, so,
Shut up. I'm suppressing it. It's a straight shot, guy.
I know. I'm a sex offender now, but.
Oh, my goodness, man.
Just kidding.
What?